Welcome once again back to the train room. Thank you guys so much for tuning in once again. We are pretty much closing in on 500 subscribers, so if this is your first time here, make sure you guys subscribe if you are enjoying the content. It's very much appreciated, and we are actually moving along. It's a lot of fun. So, what we're looking at today, for those of you guys that are unanointed, this is a Tyco layout. This was actually some kind of a layout made for model Macho Man Randy Savage back there, made out of some some old soda can boxes. Ignore him; he's just here to save the world. So, in essence, this was a Tyco layout. This was made for Tyco trains. I haven't quite figured out what company made it yet, but this was made many, many years ago. But the trick is this was all just kind of vacuum formed plastic. I've been working really, really, really hard. Go check out the first few videos and they'll show you how hard I've been working to update the look of this. To give you guys a little idea here what I'm talking about, this just kind of drab, basic, plastic looking area. That's what the whole thing used to look like. Now, obviously, there's some people that are gonna be like, "Oh, it's Tyco, it's classic, leave it alone." You know what? It's my layout, and I'm having fun with it. So I really think it's something I can truly be proud of, or it's coming along to that really, really quickly, and it's going to be worked into our final layout, which is going into the train room. More on that is here on the channel, so check out those videos. But today we're going to be talking all about this because this thing has undergone a serious transformation. If you guys are wondering, if you notice there's kind of a seam that goes all the way down and it's kind of disappeared. And the way I've done this, because I know there are people that aren't going to want to have this thing fully modified. Maybe someone later on down the future doesn't necessarily like what I did. All I did is I covered up this seam here with painter's tape. That's it. It's just painter's tape. And because of that, and because of how all this flocking is done, it's all just done essentially with watered down Elmer's glue. Just most of this can be taken off. In fact, all of this can really be taken off with just some water, just a spray bottle, some patience, and some water. This thing could be converted mostly back to original. There is some unfortunate side effects of testing here that, well, little vigorous painting and airbrushing wouldn't have a hard time restoring. But I'm really happy with the outcome. Now, this is an interesting spot right here. Let's talk about this real quick. So, if you harken back to my original videos on the subject, this little area right kind of here was just a piece that jutted out and looked a little weird. I wasn't quite sure what to do with it, but I kind of decided what I want to do because I've always wanted to incorporate the original track that was on here somehow. And so what I've done is I've actually got a little old spur essentially that originally would have come off and been a trestle. I have some trestling material I'm going to put in there, and it's just going to look like an old bridge that fell and they rerouted. I just think it adds a little bit of drama, a little something interesting. Plus, since I am mostly modeling ish North Georgia area, there's a lot of really old tracks. So I think this is just an interesting touch. But as always, that is just my opinion. And well, if you agree, if you disagree, let me know in the comments and let me know with your reactions down below. And it's not going to change anything, but frankly, I just like to know what you guys are thinking. So this is an interesting little spot right here. You will notice that there's kind of a road going through here. And initially, this road didn't do anything interesting whatsoever. It wasn't even wide enough for two cars. It just kind of was clearly just an afterthought on the layout. So what I've done here, if you go back to the original concept, it's just kind of plastic and, you know, grayish. What I've done is I've added this rock wall here, which I think looks really good. This is all made out of styrofoam and woodland seating smooth it, believe it or not, that I just kind of roughed up, added a bit of texture to, added some foliage to. This is supposed to obviously be fall time, so having just some multicolored foliage there, I think, did a little bit of service to that. Though I am going to come in and add a little bit of some browns, some shadows, and some highlights to it, and try to even it out because it does look a little cartoonish right now, and I'm going to try to make it look a little more photorealistic. Obviously, you can see we've been working on the forest back there. I'm really proud of that, how the forest has turned out. Let's get a closer look at that. And I do apologize. There are a lot of boxes and stuff around. This is my basement, after all. And this isn't actually the train room. This is actually in the living room area, the basement where I've been doing all the work, because there are a lot of couches around here. It's very comfy. In fact, sometimes when I'm done with working, I'll just crash out on the couch for a couple of hours. Not gonna lie. But I'm really happy with the way the forest has turned out. Let's see if we can get in a little closer here. All right, we're a little bit closer. I don't dare get too close, but this is basically the perspective you're more or less going to have. In fact, you're not going to be this high up, honestly, when it's finally mounted. You'll see I worked on the rock wall back there a little bit. I talked about that a bit, but all I've literally done is just shredded up pieces of styrofoam, done a little bit of black to add the shadows, added the grays and browns, and I'm going to go in and actually add some more highlights here shortly. Even that girder bridge back there, that was originally just black and plastic. I have added some weathering to it, but it definitely needs a bit more work still. But rather than just being black plastic, I think they're a little more dynamic and interesting this way. Plus, that's kind of the way a lot of these bridges look. So, thought that was really, really interesting. And this is another just kind of example of how the old looked versus the new. I'm exceptionally happy. You can see some of the shrapnel and nonsense there from when the bridge supposedly fell. Obviously, there was no bridge there initially, but that's my story and I'm sticking to it. So let me know once again what you guys think. I'm really happy so far. I couldn't be more ecstatic. Initially, this was just kind of a figure eight, and I added it a long time ago. Let's see if we can get close in on this. So when I decided I was going to add this to my final layout, I needed a way for the trains to get in and out. Initially, they just kind of went around this curve and then back out to the main line, and that was just kind of that. Not very. In fact, that third track was a total addition of mine. That third track wasn't even initially there. I just wanted to add it. So I needed a way for the trains to get in and out. So there was just a flat area here. So I've added this diamond. And I think that's going to look really good. There's going to be like a little creek going over that metal there. And obviously, that's where the bridge goes in. So the road can get to and from. I apologize. It is a little bit of a mess right now, but it is, work in progress. And then that's going to go to our road over there and on down to the tunnel. Let's go take a quick look at the tunnel. The tunnel is yet another work in progress, but hopefully you can see the amount of work we've been putting in here. I'm really, really, really happy so far with it. Might need to be lightened up a little bit. It looks a little bit dark, but I did want it to be a little more dynamic. And obviously, we're going to put some trees and stuff over here to kind of make it pop. I don't want it to stand out too much, but I do want it to be different. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to get my hands on some black 2.0 and some LEDs, and I'm going to obviously make it look like it. Use a little forced perspective, make it look like it kind of dips into the hill there. I didn't want to actually, you know, cut a hole in my plastic layout. Number one, I don't know how the plastic's going to hold up after being dissected like that. But number two, I just, like I said, I don't want to do too much damage to the overall structure. This is, classic 1950 something layout as we've come to discover. So everything will just be done up here with this construction foam and Elmer's glue and stuff that can be totally reversed. So that is the layout, though, pretty much as you see it. Let me know what you guys think. I am double heading my steamers right here, and I've got a was that a Trainmaster diesel locomotive? I don't know why, just they're there for reasons. And then the double O scale Flying Scotsman for my friends from overseas. So love it so much. My camera would, there we go. Gamble acting up there for a moment. Once again, let me know what you guys think. Like, comment, share all the good stuff, and I'll be back with more coming really soon.